Welcome to the video notes for Signposts Part 1. You should already have your notebook with you and you'll need your colored pencils and something to write with. Please turn to these notes in your notebook. If you were absent, a table mate should have glued them in for you, but if you open your notebook and realize you don't have them, you can either handwrite them if you want or wait until you get your glue in and then do your notes. All right, let's get started. So this week we're working on this idea of signposts. Signposts are like clues that authors leave in their writing to help you better understand what it is they've written. They're like little hints that point to the important things so you don't get distracted by the stuff that's less important. And today we're going to start by learning 3 of these signposts, 3 of these clues that can help us understand more complex writing. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and grab your red colored pencil. That's what we're going to start with. And we're going to start with our signpost called Again and Again. So using your red, you're just going to fill in the bubble letters. And as you're filling those in, I want to give you an example of an again and again. So imagine that there's a kid, and every day they wake up, and as they're getting ready for school, they make themselves a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to bring to school. Every single day. Monday they wake up and they make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And Tuesday they wake up and they make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And Wednesday they wake up, you know what they're going to make. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This is an idea or event that keeps getting repeated. The character keeps doing the same thing. And when the author does that, they're saying, hey, pay attention to this. I'm giving you some clues here. And those clues are called an again and again signpost. They're calling your attention to something that could be important. So make sure you've got your bubble letters filled in red. You underlined the key idea of things that keep getting repeated, and then we're boxing that signpost in red. All right, you can go ahead and set down your red colored pencil, and we're going to swap it out for an orange colored pencil, and we're on to our next signpost. Our next signpost is called Unique or Unexpected, and let's build off our original idea. So we have this character who every morning they get up and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So they did that on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, but Thursday they wake up and they say, you know what? I don't want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think I'm going to buy school lunch. We didn't see that coming, right? They had a pattern going, and they changed the pattern. It was unexpected. We didn't see that coming. So they go to school, and they go to their classes, and when it's lunchtime, they stand in the lunch line, and as they go through the lunch line, they're presented with 2 choices. They can either have pepperoni pizza, or they can have a sardine sandwich. And they look at those 2 options, and they say, I know everybody chooses pepperoni pizza, I'm going to choose the sardine sandwich. And they pay for it and they have a seat. It was really unexpected that they didn't make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They went through the school lunch line and they chose the most unique option. Everyone else is getting pepperoni pizza, but they picked something different. They picked the sardine sandwich. And that really highlights this signpost. Unique or unexpected is when characters, events, or reactions are different than expected. Maybe they're different because everyone else does something different, or maybe they had a pattern going and they changed it up. So when there's something happening in your story that catches you off guard, you weren't expecting that, or seems different than everything else, you have found a unique and unexpected signpost. All right, and we're going to swap out our orange for a yellow. And our last signpost for this set of notes, we'll get to more later, is called a memory moment. And we're going to do that one in yellow. And so let's continue with our story. So our character has their sardine sandwich, and they walk to their spot at the lunch table, and they sit down and they take a great big bite. And as they do, the flavor of the sardines fills their mouth, and they remember back when they were little, and they used to spend every summer at their grandma's house, and her favorite lunch to make for both of them is a sardine sandwich. And as he chewed on the oily, salty fish, he could remember how much care his grandma took when she made him sardine sandwiches. That character is thinking back to their past and remembering things. They're having a memory moment. And a memory moment is when a character has a flashback and it helps show events from the past. It's like we get a little sneak peek into how things used to be for that character to help us understand who they are now and how they got to be there. So these are our first 3 signposts, and these first few days of school we're going to be working with these. We're going to be looking for them everywhere and trying to figure out what the author wants to show us with these 3 signposts. Nice job today!